Okay, what if you could back up your mind, just like you back up your phone? I mean, really live on after your body gives out. It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But Elon Musk says this is a future we're actively building. So today we're going to break down his incredible and maybe a little terrifying plan to upload the human mind.
So the core idea here is to basically smash two of his biggest projects together. You've got Neuralink with its brain-computer interfaces to actually read the mind, and then you've got Tesla's Optimus robot to be the new home for it. The end goal? To take a snapshot of you and transfer it into a brand new, shiny mechanical body.
So you have to ask, is this where we're all headed? Is this the next step for humanity, or is it just a really cool sci-fi fantasy? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look past the crazy headlines and really dig into what's possible today versus what's still pure science fiction.
So what is the ultimate sales pitch for all this? It's huge. It is nothing short of digital immortality. The idea is that you could back up everything, your consciousness, all your memories, your entire personality, and just keep on living long after your physical body is gone.
Okay, so that's the promise. That's the dream. But what about the reality? Where are we right now? Well, when you actually look at the tech we have today, the gap between that vision and our present, it's absolutely staggering.
Let's start with Neuralink's brain-computer interface, or BCI. Now, this is the device that's supposed to read your brain signals. And while the long-term, far-out goal is to record the entire brain, the incredible work it's doing right now is focused on helping people with paralysis control a computer cursor with just their thoughts. I mean, that's amazing. But going from that to a full mind snapshot, we're talking about a technological leap so huge it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
And you know what? We see pretty much the same story with the Optimus robot. The big vision is this do-anything general-purpose humanoid. But the reality? We're still looking at very early prototypes that are facing massive hurdles in things like dexterity, reliability, and just figuring out how to manufacture them at scale.
And this is exactly why, despite Musk's really ambitious 20-year timeline, the wider scientific community is, well, they're a lot more cautious. Most experts will tell you we're probably talking decades, maybe even centuries, before this is remotely possible. And that's a big if. That's assuming it's even possible at all.
But let's just pretend for a second. Let's say we solved every single engineering problem tomorrow. We'd immediately slam right into an even bigger wall: the truly monumental challenges of basic science and philosophy.
Okay, so even if we could perfectly scan a brain, we'd still be staring down three colossal roadblocks. First, the amount of data we're talking about is almost incomprehensibly vast. Second, the sheer computing power you'd need to actually run that simulation would be immense. And third, and this is the biggest one of all, the consciousness gap.
And this is where we get into the really, really deep stuff. Philosophers call it the hard problem of consciousness. We simply do not know how all the physical stuff happening in our brains creates the subjective feeling of being alive. So, in theory, you could create a perfect simulation that acts totally human, but has no inner experience at all. It'd be like a philosophical zombie. And that uncertainty, right there, leads us to the ultimate philosophical question, doesn't it? If this whole thing actually worked, would that digital mind humming away inside a robot, would that actually be you? Or would it just be a perfect copy?
Yeah, there is no easy answer here, and philosophers are completely divided. You've got one camp that says, yes, it is you, as long as your consciousness is transferred seamlessly. Then you have others who are absolutely firm, nope, it's a clone, a perfect digital copy, and your original self is just gone. And then there's a third camp that says the whole question is kind of meaningless, that identity is just a word we use. It's a debate with no end in sight.
But here's the thing. We don't actually need to achieve full mind uploading for this stuff to completely change our world. Just the pursuit of this goal is already creating technologies that are going to have a massive ripple effect across all of society.
Think about it. Even if we're only partially successful, it would send shockwaves through everything. Imagine the economic disruption from super advanced robotics, or a brand new kind of social divide between the people who can afford to back themselves up and those who can't. It would ignite all kinds of cultural and religious debates, and could even create entirely new industries, everything from entertainment to, digital afterlives. So all of this just screams for one thing: guardrails. We have to ask these questions now. Who owns your neural data? Can a digital mind be hacked or spied on? What rights does a corrupted digital copy even have?
Our legal and ethical rulebooks are completely, totally unprepared for these questions, and the technology is moving really, really fast.
Okay, so where does all this leave us? Looking ahead, we need to think about the most likely ways this could all play out, and maybe more importantly, what choices we need to be making, like right now.
Generally, experts see about 3 plausible paths forward. The most realistic, short-term one involves advanced brain implants that restore functions like sight and movement. Then, of course, you've got Musk's ambitious scenario, an approximate snapshot of a mind in about 20 years. And finally, you have the skeptical view, which holds that true consciousness transfer is probably centuries away, if we can ever pull it off at all.
But you know what? It almost doesn't matter which timeline turns out to be right, because the priorities for today are crystal clear. We have to fund research that mixes neuroscience with ethics and philosophy. We have to create global safety standards for this tech. We need to build rock-solid laws to protect our neural data, and we have to have an educated public conversation about all of it.
So, in the end, whether full mind uploading happens in 20 years or 200, that isn't really the most important question. The real question is about today. The foundational tech, the AI, the robotics, the brain interfaces, it's already here, and it's already forcing us to make some pretty profound choices about the future we actually want to live in. That's the conversation we have to be having right now.